Newswatch anchor Brandy Lawrence got to have a one-on-one interview with Republican governor candidate Chris Miller to see how he would approach the role of governor if elected. Take a look.
What are your top priorities for the state, and if elected, how do you plan to execute that?
So our state has incredible potential in front of it, but we also have a serious set of challenges. Right now, we're about dead last in everything from education to the number of grandparents raising grandkids to the economy. We have this good old boy system inside of our state that we really need to break up, that gets in the way of our progress. And also our biggest export right now is not our coal or not our natural gas. Our biggest export is our kids. And in order to fix all that, we have to create an economy that thrives. We have to run state government more like a business. We need to make sure that us as taxpayers are looked at as actually shareholders of the state and have a tangible return on our investment. We should audit every single dime that the government spends, because they really don't do a good enough job of wasting our money. I think when revamping education, we really need to do a better job of providing good, solid, fundamental education to our kids and get a lot of the wokeism and stuff out of our school systems. And like our opportunity, when we do things the right way and create an economy that thrives, is that West Virginia could write the greatest comeback story in the history of our country. We just got to do it together.
It's a very conservative heavy race right now, especially the GOP primary coming up. What sets you apart from your conservative competitors?
So I'm the only business guy. I started out delivering newspapers when I was a kid, and then eventually did manual labor on a farm, and then got involved in growing businesses. And I've grown 26 different businesses. I employ about 750 people, 500 of which are right here in West Virginia. I'm heavily invested in the state, and as a business guy, I know how to do things better than politicians do, because we've seen what politicians do over and over again is they talk and they talk and they talk, and they do absolute nothing. And or they're really, really bad negotiators, and they put us into bad deals that aren't representative of who we are. So what I'm going to do is make sure and run state government more like a business. The most important thing from my mind is West Virginia has what everybody's looking for. We've got all this coal, we've got all this natural gas, we have the potential to produce nuclear power, and we also have more water that passes through our state than any other state in the country. And when you add all that stuff up, I think that we can do two things, and that's turn West Virginia into the power plant of the East Coast and export our power, but also simultaneously do something for our people, because the history of our state is that we've been extracted. They've taken our coal, they've taken our natural gas, and we don't have a lot to show for it. I want to use all our resources to create an incredible amount of economic development by making West Virginia the state in the union with the cheapest power in the country.
Your position as a political legacy in this state, it's been a talking point. It was a talking point at the debate. Do you feel that this hurts or helps your campaign?
Well, those are politicians. Those are politicians saying those things, and I've never ever held elected office before. I've made my entire career in the business world, and I want to take what I know about watching politics from behind the scenes for a long time, and then also take what I know in running and managing businesses and use that to benefit the people. And so I don't know what in the world these guys are talking about, but at the end of the day, I've got stuff that nobody else in the race has.
Young West Virginians, usually when they get into the workforce, they typically leave the area looking for more lucrative job opportunities. How do you plan to address that?
We have to create an economy that thrives. We absolutely positively have to. We have to leverage our resources to dramatically drive down the cost of our power. We also need to do stuff like get rid of the state income tax, which is 3 of the 4 fastest growing states post-pandemic are Tennessee, Texas, and Florida, and they all have one thing in common: a 0 state income tax. If we want to grow our economy, we do stuff that we know people are looking for all around the country.
As a West Virginian yourself, why should, especially, Southern West Virginians consider you to be our next governor?
I mean, if the politicians were good at what they're saying, we wouldn't be dead last in everything. And so what we've seen is that when you get business guys involved, better deals happen. The economy grows. It's better for people. There's lower taxes. We have more money to spend. So all of that stuff adds up to why in the world Southern West Virginians should look at me. It's because I'm one of them. I'm a business guy, and I've done just about every job underneath the sun, and I understand what people in the state are dealing with, including, quite frankly, the opiate epidemic, which is still going on, and that's something else we got to fix. I mean, it's poisoned our brothers and sisters. And then Big Pharma gets away with it scot-free. And if we have politicians involved that are bought and paid for by Big Pharma, They'll never fix that problem. And me, I'm not scared of those people. I will make sure and fight for West Virginians to make sure that we get everything we deserve.